Willkommen, Freunde! Ich bin Jakob.
Ich bin Wilhelm
Und wir are das Brothers Grimm. You know what? We did it again.
So we did. Sometimes we forget how far our stories have traveled. And this is America, right? Are we in America? Are we in America right now? Okay, good, because my French is no es bueno.
We are from Germany, you know, and the German. Okay, we should do this again. Let's do this again.
Welcome, friends!
I am Jacob.
I am Wilhelm,
And we are the
Brothers Grimm!
That felt better.
Much better. As my older brother Jacob said, we are from Germany, a very, very long time ago.
17 and 1800s to be exact.
And some of you may know us as storytellers.
We're story collectors. You see, in our time, before the iPad or the Kindle,
Yeah, all we had was a Chris Krindle. Kindle Crit. Never mind.
Anyway, it was called oral tradition. People telling stories out loud to one another and passing them down from generation to generation.
Like if your grandfather told it to your father, and then your father told it to you, and so on and so on.
But nothing was written down or recorded.
And we thought it was a shame.
A travesty!
A crime!
So we set out into the world with paper and pen and collected some stories that I will bet some of you have heard of before. Can anyone name any of the stories that my brother and I collected out in the world? What's up? Jack and the Beanstalk,
Yes,
a classic, a classic,
indeed.
a classic. Little Mermaid was actually our good friend Hans Christian Andersen, but a classic nonetheless. Anyone else? Hansel and Gretel,
Hansel and Gretel,
Cinderella.
yes, indeed.
Mwah.
What would the world might have been like without these stories?
Which brings us to why we are here.
Ah, yes, the miracle.
When enough people who truly love stories gather in one place at one time, the spirit moves us
Quite literally.
to that very place and time, no matter where it is, and allows us to share our stories with that audience.
We use oral tradition just like back in the day to share these stories.
It is quite ironic. Oral tradition set us out on our original journey, and now we return to those classic roots with you today.
It's the circle of life.
Obnoxiously put, but true.
I do my best.
How many stories do you think we collected out there? Just take a guess.
100.
Correct, but can we get more specific? 200!
That is exactly right. Right on the nose.
200 stories, and today we're going to perform all of them for you.
And that should only take about 7 hours. Do you guys have a quick 7 hours to spare?
Mom, Dad, 7 hours?
No? No? Oh.
Okay. We will do 50.
How about 4?
Okay, fine, we'll do 4.
Since we can't do all of them, to shake things up a little bit, we're going to tell each different story in a different style.
A style is a way of telling a story that gives it its own sense of time and place and fashion and language.
For instance, if you think of the style of a Western, you think of cowboys and dusty old main roads.
A craggy old man sitting out in front of the general store on a hot summer's day with a rattlesnake clattering away at his feet.
Or if I say the style of an opera, what does that make you think of? What are things that define an opera? Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. So I think they've got the idea of style down, so I think we can start. All right, now our first story that we're going to tell for you today is one of our lesser known, but it is a classic indeed.
The Valiant Little Tailor.
Find it in a collection of our stories at your local bookstore or at your local library.
Coming to DVD and Blu-ray just in time for the holidays.
Not coming to DVD. It's in the books. It's in the books. That's,
Right,
that's why we
right,
do the show.
right.
The books.
Find it in a collection of our stories at your library or on Amazon.
Hey, brother, what do you say we tell this one in the style of vaudeville?
Oh, yes, sir, that old chestnut.
Vaudeville is a style that comes straight from America in the early 20th century.
Made famous by the popular comedians and the song and dance men of the time.
Say, brother of mine.
Yes, brother of mine.
Did you hear the one about the giant and the tailor?
Nope, but I think I'm about to.
One day a little tailor was sitting in a shop, a sewing, as if he'd never stop. until an old peasant woman came along crying, "Good jams for cheap, good jams for cheap. Bread and butter you can keep, but why when I've got jams for cheap?"
Say, did you say jams for cheap?
That's exactly what I said. Jams, jams, jams for cheap, jams for cheap. I'm going to sell
it's
you
so good
something
when I
so
put
good.
it in my face.
But alas, before long, the old peasant woman left, and the tailor was left alone with his sewing and wonderful piece of bread and jam. He decided to finish his work before enjoying his treat. However, before long, the sweet, sweet smell of the jam rose to where the flies were sitting. They were attracted and descended on it in hosts.
Hey, who invited you to this party? I say shoo, flies, shoo.
He struck, and when he withdrew, there lay before him no fewer than...
Say, how many flies does it take to make a hero?
Why, could it be 7?
How right you are. I shall make myself a sash, and I will write on it 7 in one blow, and then won't the whole town be frightened of my prowess?
And so he did, and so they were.
Say, this town ain't big enough for the likes of me anymore. I'm gonna go out and make my way in the world.
Oh, the plot thickens. Now, before he left, he looked around to see if there was anything that he should take with him, but he found nothing except a small piece of moldy cheese, which he put in his pocket, and a bird which had caught itself in the thicket. It had to go into his pocket with the cheese.
Say, what did the pocket cheese say to the thicket bird?
What?
I have no idea.
Say, brother of mine.
Yes, brother of mine?
Did you hear the one about the giant and the tailor?
Nope, but I think I'm about to.
And so the little tailor went out to see his fill until he saw a giant a-standing on a hill.
Hello there, giant.
Hello, puny tailor.
Say, how many flies does it take to make a hero?
Is this a joke?
No, but this is. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I have no idea. But seriously, take a look at my sash and tell me what you think of me now.
7 in one blow.
Now, folks, how crazy is this? The giant thought that 7 meant the number of giants the tailor had already killed, and he began to feel a little respect for the tiny fella. Nevertheless, he wished to see him prove himself, and so the great show began. Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to witness feats of death-defying strength between 2 of the greatest champions of our time. In this corner, weighing 2,000 pounds and standing 8 feet tall, the master of disaster, the Great Giant!
Hey, it is I, the great giant.
And standing in this corner, weighing about as much as some cheese, a bird, and a wet chihuahua, the valiant little tailor!
Why don't you tell him what happened next, Jake?
Gee, I think I will, Will. The giant picked up a stone and threw it so high in the air that the eye could scarcely follow it.
Well thrown. But after all, the stone came back to earth. I will throw you one so high that it will never come down again.
The tailor reached into his pocket and pulled out the bird. Throwing it into the air, the bird was delighted with its newfound freedom and flew away. The giant did not know what to say, so he reached onto the ground and picked up a stone and squeezed it so hard that water ran out of it.
Is that all you got?
The tailor reached into his pocket and pulled out the cheese, which looked enough like a stone to the nearsighted giant, and squeezed it until the liquid ran out.
I win.
Say, brother of mine.
Yes, brother of mine?
Did you hear the one about the giant and the tailor?
Why, I think I just did. I think I just did.
Would you fine folks believe that this tailor went on to battle even more giants, marry a princess, and become a king? It's true, I tell ya. It is all true. The valiant little tailor thought life would pass him by until he felt some fearsome foes and 7 little flies. He went into the world and a giant's what he found, and he tricked him into thinking he was the strongest man in town.